Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Ray from Tails and Snails Aquatics. Just give you guys a little update. Our guppy population, which we're trying to expand here, so we are definitely a startup. So this tank, you guys have seen this before. It's a tank with our purple snails and one of our guppy tanks. So our primary focus right now is guppies and mystery snails. So this tank here is our purples, and you know, it's taken us the ones that you guys see here. There's been several hatches, but these guys here, this is about 3-4 months to get these guys up to about this size. So you can see the current batch here, which a lot of these are going to be leaving here today, going to new homes. And we've also got some little guys. I don't know if I can get a good shot of some of those. And they're little itty bitties. You can see them. Oh, out of focus, in focus. And I just love this tank. I'm actually so much going on. There's always baby guppies. There's always baby snails. Some of my prized guppies. I can see if I can find one of them. That's the problem. They move so fast. This yellow guy here, we've had probably about 8 months now. We've affectionately called him, named him Banana Boy. He's kind of been the little mascot. He has produced some offspring, not too many, but there's a few of his offspring here and there. This is by far the laziest fish we've ever had. For a while we thought he was dying, and then we picked up on his habits that he was just kind of lazy. This fish will literally lay around. He'll lay on the sponge filter, he'll lay down in the moss, so he likes to take it easy. And the other one, which is extremely fast, chasing girls around, is this guy. And this guy we just love. I love this guy's tail. It's Blue Delta mix. These are all mutts, so in this tank here, but this guy is going to produce some awesome looking babies as he swims too fast for me to keep up. Alright, so moving up, our next tank here. This one's kind of a mix. I actually did not want snails to produce in this tank, but some snuck in here. So we got some jades in here, a couple purples. This tank is also producing guppies, not at the rate that I'd like at the moment. The majority of these guys here were from a hatch about 3 months ago, and so I'm trying to grow out some moss and some guppy grass here to kind of give cover. There are some yellow shrimp in there. There's some ghost shrimp in here. So this tank is actually starting to produce. We are starting to get little babies in there. Mix. There's some interesting fish. The peach and purple. A lot of these peach tails. I had a peach male that had produced these this batch. So there's a lot of those in there. Also with the blues. And they get excited when I come over here because they think they're going to get a treat. Alright, moving on to our next tank. So our next tank, we've got a lot of interesting guppies in this one. This is also where I've tried to corral and keep all our blue snails. So these guys are just absolutely gorgeous. I love the blues just as much as I love the purples. So we've started breeding those as well. So we've got quite a few blues in here. They're also hanging around up here. And this plant here, so you can see this is a pennywort and some hornwort. So it took a long time to get this pennywort to grow out and get the leaves this big. This plant will do great column feeding. It'll also do great if you plant it. The plants will actually grow out of the tank. In this case, if you put a lattice in there, they'll actually grow up the lattice, which is on the to-do list, on the ideal list. So this tank here, again, focus on getting our guppy population up. So there is a lot of breeding going on in this tank. This batch, a lot more adults in this batch. You can see our males are feverishly chasing the females around. Just going to do another shot from the side on this one. Alright, dropping down. So our bottom tank, so this one's planted. So we've got some blue deltas in here. So this, we just kind of got these to start breeding. You can see there's some babies. One of these poor guys came out bent. I've got another bent fish in one of the other tanks, but poor guy. We're going to keep them. We're not parting any of the fish, so the ones that come out bent or deformed, we'll keep them, or they'll end up becoming, you know, a donation to the Petco. But the bent ones we're definitely going to keep and try to. I haven't come to grips, haven't been able to buy into the parting of the fish, so. Blue deltas, there's also some jade snails in here. Nice moss growth, various plants. I don't CO2 this tank. It is soiled substrate. Does okay. It'd be doing better if I CO2'd it. But for the purposes of maintenance and keeping it clean and whatnot, the snails are doing a great job in here, as always. I also have a contingent of ghost shrimp in here as well. So right now this is a very lightly loaded tank. We don't want any crossbreedings. So these guys, these blue deltas, are essentially the only purebred, I guess you would say, strains of guppies we have right now. And they're doing their job. They're definitely breeding slowly but surely. So this is going to take a long time before we get these guys up to snuff. All right, coming over, last tank that we have down here. So this little 10 here, some more guppies. So you guys are seeing a theme forming here, guppies and snails. And I've got some giant blues up in this tank. And they weren't giant when I put them in here. They were small. And the light that I have on here is so powerful that, you know, the algae growth, these guys just went bonkers. They seemed like they grew overnight. And the other snails, which actually going to be setting up a tank to start trying to breed are these ivories. And the ivories are just really cool. This is the first batch of ivories we got, and to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about breeding them yet. I don't know if there's a pure strain, if they're a mutation, but what we're going to do is we're obviously going to set up the conditions to get them all in one tank and let them breed, and we'll see what happens. They're really cool though. Really pretty. Alright, last but not least, we have our 30-gallon, which right now is primarily being a plant holding. We're going to be expanding the fish room here, which I've got some 20s, some 10s. They're actually going to be setting up this entire wall here to be identical, well, not quite identical to our other wall. So we'll be expanding that out in the coming weeks here, and I'd like to kind of cover that and kind of document that as well on our shelving system and how that's how we're going to actually build that. And I actually have some good stories as to our first attempt at building this out, and things went horribly wrong. So I've got some pictures of that and some stories for that. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. And again, this is Ray the IT Nerd from Tails and Snails. And please tune in. We'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.